Goes Reviews. You suggested I review it, and welcome back to the Halloween franchise review. Today we are taking a look at what a lot of people consider the best film in the series, with Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers.
The shape, the face, the town, the night. 10 years later. He's back. Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Rated R.
Stop smarting. The theater or driving near you.
So Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers was released in 1987, and it picks up 10 years after Halloween 2. Michael Myers, after being burnt alive in Halloween 2, is still barely alive. He's been in a coma for the past 10 years, and while being shipped to a new mental asylum to be kept there for life, Michael finds out he has a niece named Jamie Lloyd, played by Danielle Harris. Knowing this, Michael wakes up from his coma to finish what he started 10 years ago, going after his family. Now, this movie is a great sequel. It reintroduces audiences to Michael Myers after Halloween 3 ditched him. Once again, however, there's a few flaws with it. Obviously, there's going to be some flaws with some great movies. Flaw number one: Michael doesn't really look that great. Apparently, they weren't able to use the original mask this time around, so they had to make a brand new mask, and it kind of looks like shit. Also, they casted a different stuntman to play Michael, and for some reason they bulked Michael up to make him look scarier, I guess. But if you're going to make Michael scary, you don't need to bulk him up. The reason Michael is so scary is that he appears human, but there's just something about him that makes him not so human. Number two, there's a bit of a romance subplot going on, but I'll get to that in a minute. Now, some of the good things that work for this film is, once again, Donald Pleasence returning as Dr. Loomis. While there's no in-film explanation how Loomis survived the fire, I'm just assuming he survived the same way Michael did. They're just destined to be enemies. Now, Loomis once again goes back to his route of hunting Michael down and trying to stop him from killing people. Another great thing about Loomis is that a lot of people do complain that Donald Pleasence plays Loomis like he's tired, but that's how I would envision it. Loomis has just been doing this for so long, he's just really getting tired of it. Another great addition this film has is the main character, Jamie Lloyd, played by Danielle Harris. She's a 7-year-old girl who is Michael's niece. Apparently, Lori and her husband died in a car accident off screen, so that's why Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't return this time. And while Jamie was adopted by a nice family who did take her in and accept her as their own, she still doesn't feel like she fits in. Jamie is hated by the kids at Haddonfield because of what her uncle did. And really, they do get it down perfectly. This kid is a really great actor, and you can understand the pain she's going through knowing that she comes from such a terrible family. Her family was so broken. And of course, you could have easily made the family abusive or not really caring, but they went the mile to make the family caring and supportive. As well as Jamie's foster sister Rachel, who's a great character. Although she does kind of survive a lot of stuff that happens. I get that she's the survival girl and it's supposed to be the case, but even for survival girl status, that's kind of too far. For example, there's a scene in the film where Michael throws her out a window, and not only is she okay, she recovers from it very fast. But yeah, I should mention there's a subplot between her boyfriend and the sheriff's daughter in the movie. When Rachel has to tell her boyfriend, I think his name was Nick, that they can't go out because she has to watch Jamie, Rick gets upset and proceeds to cheat on Rachel with the sheriff's daughter. This, of course, adds a bit of a subplot when they're all stuck in the sheriff's house later in the movie. On the surface, this subplot doesn't seem much of a purpose, other than to guarantee that the sheriff's daughter and Nick are going to get killed. Another thing this movie has going for it is that characters don't die because they make stupid decisions. There actually are reasoning for it. Earlier in the movie, when Loomis tries to stop Michael from escaping a gas station, there's an explosion and fire set to the telephone wires, which cut off the phones. So, Loomis is the only person outside of Haddonfield that can warn the police about Michael. Then later in the movie, Michael cuts out all power of Haddonfield by throwing a technician on the main power source, which shuts down all power. And then, while the sheriff and Loomis are wandering around the town trying to find Michael, Michael manages to sneak into the police station and kill all the police officers there. When the police fail to stop Michael, a mob of angry drunks from the bar try to hunt down Michael. But these drunken fools only manage to kill anybody who was unfortunate to be out on Halloween. So, and there's a really interesting scene earlier in the movie while Loomis is trying to get back to Haddonfield. He hitches a ride with this priest who says he's been trying to fight his own evil. Pretty much giving the synopsis that evil is eternal. You can't kill it, no matter what you do. Even if you do manage to kill a form of evil, it'll just find another. So that's pretty much about Michael. Even if he does die, the evil in him may pass on to somebody else. That's scary enough. Now, the kills in this movie are great. There's a lot of great kills in this film, and there are some that you don't expect. For example, there's a scene when Michael kills somebody by impaling her with a shotgun. I just think it's hilarious that even when he has a gun, Michael's still stabbing people. Michael does get a knife later on in the movie, but it's just for show, because he never uses it. At all. He never gets a chance to use it. He's probably starting to think like, there's not one drop of blood on this damn thing. Well, oh yeah, another thing I want to mention, I think I mentioned this already, but I was not a huge fan of Michael's mask. It kind of looks like this. Yeah, that's the design I went with. Supposedly, I'm guessing that, they weren't, apparently, not Harrison Ford, William Shatner, sorry, found out that they were using his likeness to make the mask, and I guess he wasn't a huge fan of it, so they had to make a brand new mask out of scratch, and honestly, I'm not a fan. They actually did use an off-the-shelf William Shatner mask, I'm assuming, in one scene in the movie, and it's plainly noticeable. It's pink, it has the blonde hair, it just looks weird. But it's strange. But all in all, everything else is fine. Alright, I'm about to give away the ending of Halloween 4. If you don't want to get spoiled, just watch the movie. Near the end of the film, after Michael's off pretty much all the characters that were introduced in this movie, Jamie and Rachel get chased by Myers. They get saved by the guys from earlier, but Michael manages to sneak onto their truck and off all of them. Michael gets flung out of the car. He chases them. He gets knocked out. Jamie has a sort of a weird moment where she grabs her uncle's hand. Then Michael tries to attack her, but thankfully the police show up and shoot Michael a whole number of times, tossing him into a well that collapses on him. And apparently that's enough to convince them to think that he's dead. Sure. Yeah, okay, so, let me set this straight. Shooting him doesn't kill him. Him falling off the building doesn't kill him. Setting him on fire doesn't kill him. But shooting him a bunch of times and having a mine shaft fall on him? Yeah, that'll do it. They all go back to Jamie's house to try to relax, and Jamie's mother sets up a bath. However, Jamie's mother gets attacked by a person who stabs her multiple times with a pair of scissors, and Jamie's revealed to be the attacker. Apparently, whatever forced Michael to kill passed on to Jamie. Dr. Loomis tries to shoot the girl to end this all, but the sheriff stops her. But it'd be pointless to kill Jamie. She would never really die. Apparently, evil did find a new form. And Jamie apparently went on to be the next killer. Halloween 4 is a great sequel. While it has its flaws, it's a great movie, and it has one of the most shocking endings ever. This film ends the way the first movie began, with a kid in a clown costume holding a bloody knife. However, the next movie pretty much took a big old butt splatter on this ending. So, join me next time as I take a look at Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. I'll see you soon.